Welcome to NFL Nexus. You know, the San Francisco 49ers are always right there, aren't they? A team just absolutely loaded with talent. A team that was literally an overtime drive away from winning the whole shebang. But when you're that close, sometimes a single weakness, one glaring issue, can be the thing that trips you up at the finish line. Today, we are honing in on that one unit that gives every 49ers fan heartburn, the offensive line. We're going to dig into the numbers, we're going to dissect the arguments for every single player, and we're going to explore the huge decisions in the draft that will shape the future of this powerhouse offense. So here's our game plan. First, we'll dive right into that never-ending debate about the O-line. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty with some Pro Football Focus data that shows how this unit is, weirdly, both elite and a massive liability all at once. From there, we'll pivot to the NFL draft, and we'll look at a couple of very different receivers who could be in the mix. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with the massive dilemma facing the 49ers front office on draft day. All right, let's just jump right in. If you're a Niners fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the conversation that just dominates every single offseason, every forum, every sports radio call-in show. Is this offensive line good enough to win it all? It's the question that just never seems to go away, right? You see these flashes of brilliance and then these total breakdowns, and it leaves everybody scratching their heads. And look, it's not just a feeling, it's not just in your head, it's a real thing. As David Bonilla over at 49ers Web Zone points out, this isn't some new hot topic. It's this cycle of frustration and anxiety that the whole fan base goes through year after year. The season ends and boom, we're right back to talking about the big guys up front. This year, though, something is different, and the stakes are way, way higher. Yeah. This is where the entire conversation changes. We're not just talking about winning football games anymore. Oh no, we are talking about protecting a massive, franchise-altering investment. Brock Purdy is about to get paid. We're talking one of the biggest contracts in the entire NFL. So now, every single pressure, every sack, every hit he takes, you're looking at it through the lens of protecting the crown jewels. The front office can't just hope the line is good enough anymore. They have to be sure. And this is really where that fan frustration starts to bubble up. I mean, just look at the team's draft history recently. The last time they spent a premium first-round pick on the O-line was way back in 2018 on Mike McGlinchey, who's not even on the team anymore. Their other high pick, Aaron Banks, is gone too. So you've got this huge part of the fan base just screaming, please, just take an O-lineman at 27. But the front office's actions, their draft philosophy, it kind of suggests they think they can find guys later and that maybe they have other plans. So, with all the debate, you gotta ask, is all this criticism actually fair? To figure that out, we need to look at some objective data. We're gonna pull up the grades from Pro Football Focus, PFF, the folks who analyze every single player on every single play. And when you do that, you get this really fascinating, almost Jekyll and Hyde picture of this O-line. It's a group that is somehow a huge strength and a massive weakness at the exact same time. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and start with the bad news. 'Cause, well, you can't ignore it. It's the source of pretty much all the angst. The interior of the 49ers offensive line, especially those guard spots, has been a problem. A real problem. And one that other teams know they can attack, especially when the games matter most. And trust me, the numbers here, they do not lie. I mean, just look at this situation at guard. Their best guy, Dominic Pooney at right guard, ranked just 26th in the league, and that was after a season where he was banged up. That's okay, but it's not great. And then you look over at left guard, and it is a complete mess. The rookie Connor Colby ranked a brutal 66th after being thrown into the fire for 6 games. And the other guys who played there, Barch and Burford, they're both about to be free agents. This isn't just a weakness, folks. This is a 5-alarm fire right next to your franchise quarterback. Okay, so from that glaring hole on the inside, let's pivot, because when you look to the outside, at the tackle positions, it is like we're talking about a completely different football team. The 49ers aren't just good at tackle. You can make a real argument that they have one of the very best tackle duos in the entire league. And it all starts with this one beautiful number, 91.1. That was the PFF grade for the living legend, left tackle Trent Williams last season. That didn't just make him pretty good. That made him the 3rd highest graded tackle in the whole NFL. He's the anchor, the gold standard, the guy who's going to waltz into the Hall of Fame, and he's still playing at an unbelievable level. He is the definition of elite. And this quote from PFF's Bradley Locker, it says it all, really. He's not just one of the best playing today, he's in the conversation for the best of his entire generation. He just keeps playing at this absurdly high level. But there's an elephant in the room, and it's his age. He's 37 years old. So the big uncomfortable question isn't if he'll slow down, it's when. How much longer can he keep Father Time at bay? And while Trent Williams gets, all the headlines, and rightly so, you cannot sleep on the story on the other side of the line. Colton McKivitz at right tackle had an absolutely fantastic breakout year. He wasn't just some guy. He graded out as the 8th best tackle in the whole league. His 90.4 run blocking grade was truly special, a perfect fit for what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. And while, he gave up 38 pressures, that was over a huge number of snaps, 740 of them. This guy has gone from a late-round flyer to a legit top-tier starter. All right, now let's move to the man in the middle, center Jake Brendel. And man, this guy might be the most polarizing player on the entire offense. Seriously, depending on who you talk to, he's either this quiet, underrated rock that makes the whole offense go, or he's the next guy they need to find an upgrade for if they want to win a Super Bowl. And here's the divide, laid out plain as day. On one side, you have his head coach, Kyle Shanahan, who just heaps praise on him, calling him one of the better centers in this league. Coming from Shanahan, that's a huge compliment. But then you look at the PFF data, and it's a little more measured. Ranked 9th is really good, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite that top-tier elite. He's a solid run blocker, but gave up 27 pressures. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Brendel is a smart, dependable guy who knows the system perfectly, but maybe he's not so irreplaceable that the team wouldn't listen if a great opportunity came along. Okay, so we've got the full picture now, right? We've seen the good, a Hall of Famer at one tackle, a breakout star at the other. We've seen the bad, a gaping hole at guard. And we've seen the debatable, right there in the middle at center. So how does all of this feed into the 49ers' plan for the NFL draft? Now, common sense. Every fan screaming on social media, it all points to one thing. You have a huge hole at guard, so you use your first-round pick to draft a guard. Simple, right? It's the obvious move. And a ton of mock drafts have the 49ers doing exactly that. But given their draft history and some other needs on the roster, the obvious choice might not be the real choice. They might see another offensive weapon as the key to unlocking this whole thing. So let's explore that idea. Let's talk about wide receiver. I mean, the Niners have stars in Ayuk and Debo, but with Ayuk's contract situation up in the air and a clear need for a solid number 3 guy, adding another weapon makes a ton of sense. And NFL draft guru Daniel Jeremiah has actually highlighted 2 very different guys who could be on their radar. Let's start with option 1, and that is just pure, unadulterated speed. This is how Daniel Jeremiah describes receiver Casey Concepcion. And the picture he paints is just electric. A guy who can score from absolutely anywhere on the field. And he's not just a receiver, he's a weapon in the return game. Someone who can flip the field in an instant. We're talking pure, game-breaking explosiveness. And this slide right here, man, it just perfectly lays out the 2 different philosophies the 49ers could choose. On the left, you've got Casey Concepcion. He's the high-risk, high-reward guy. The stats are awesome, but then you see that one major red flag. 7 drops last season. Can an offense built on timing and precision live with that? Then on the right, you have Denzel Boston. He seems like the total package. Great size, great speed, and just unbelievable hands. Only 4 drops his entire college career. He's the safer bet. The problem? He's so good. He's probably not even going to be on the board when the 49ers pick at 27. So where does that leave us? All this analysis, all the PFF grades, the expert opinions, the contract drama, it all comes crashing together on draft night, boiling down to one fundamental, franchise-altering choice for the 49ers. So let's just boil it down real quick to the 3 huge pressure points. 1, they have an urgent, we have to fix this now problem at left guard. 2, they have this looming long-term need to find a replacement for the 37-year-old legend Trent Williams. And 3, they have a strategic need for another playmaker on offense to keep this thing running smoothly for the next few years. And that leaves us with this final critical question. The clock is ticking, everyone's watching, and a Super Bowl window hangs in the balance. Do you use that valuable first-round pick to plug the immediate hole at guard? Do you draft for the future and find an heir for your Hall of Fame left tackle? Or do you just go get another explosive weapon for your star quarterback? There is no easy answer here, and whatever path the 49ers choose is going to define their offense for years to come. So what do you think they should do? Drop your pick in the comments below. I'd love to see it. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a favor and subscribe to NFL Nexus and like this video for more breakdowns like this. Oh, and hey, if you're looking for a way to support the channel, check out our coloring books. They're great for kids, grandkids, even for adults. You can grab them using the QR code on your screen or the link down in the description. Thanks so much for watching.